how is this for just a ridiculous story? And we bring you a lot of these ridiculous transgender type stories on this program, but this one will knock your socks off. Or if you were playing against these people, you wouldn't have even put your socks on, to be perfectly honest. There is a team that's been playing in Sydney. Now, this is in a female soccer league in suburban Sydney. There is a team that is made up of at least 5 transgender players. They won the grand final on the weekend, for which they collected a $1,000 prize. Not a huge amount of money, but it's $1,000 nevertheless. They won this game 4-0. They had won every game in the league leading up to the grand final. So you might start to ask the question, gee, why is it that this team, with all of these transgender players on it, has just completely blitzed this female soccer league and then goes on to win the grand final, the game of the best 2 teams, 4-0. Help me out, James. Yes. I'm really at a loss as to why they might have done so well. Any theories?
Well, they could bend it like Beckham, and unfortunately, Beckham is a male and is a lot better kick than most females. But riddle me this, Caleb, 5 transgendered players, right? How many players are on a soccer team?
I don't know. I don't play soccer and I don't have much interest in soccer. But yeah, elucidate.
Do you know, Liz?
Elucidate.
Sorry, what was the question?
How many players on a soccer team, do you know?
Nah.
There's 11. And
so nearly half.
And 5 of them were biological males. No wonder they're cleaning up. They won one game 10-0. One player kicked 6 goals. But some of the outrage of this is that the female teams, or the all-female teams that they were playing against, were not advised at all that they'd be playing against biological males. And there are claims that some of the women were told, do not complain about this, otherwise you'll be reported to an anti-discrimination commission. But get this quote. This is Jen Pedden, who's the president of the Flying Bats transgendered football team.
Flying Bats.
Jen says this, and I quote, "Trans women belong in the women's competition because that's the gender with which they identify." Now, I've got to say, you can't argue with that, can you? Because according to that logic, you can do whatever you want.
True, yeah.
If you belong in the women's comp because you say you belong in the women's comp, well, I guess that's
you can argue with that logic because it's not logic. But I think everyone is with a bloke called John McGowan on this because in terms of making money, he's like, wait, this could be an absolute rot. He tweets, the real scandal is that we only find out about these matches after they're played. I want to know when the teams are playing so I can punt on them. If you could get a list of every team with trans players on a betting market, it's a license to print money. Yeah, if this is so legit, John, I'm with you, buddy. Let's make money while
As a punting man, I am on board. I want to know every single
You've already contacted John, haven't you? You've got a trans bookies agency up and running.
John's a good fella. He used to be a staffer to the Nationals. But I've got to say, though, it just proves once again, we keep having this debate and there are many sporting leagues and organisations that have now banned transgender people from playing. Yep. FINA, the World Swimming Organisation, was basically the first to do it, and a number have followed since. But we still have leagues, including the AFL, in this country that have made no decision on these matters. It is abundantly evident, not only from the anecdotal evidence like this case, but the scientific evidence that a biological male who has been through puberty has an advantage over a biological female. How long does it take us to wake up and say this is simply a matter of fairness? It's all it is.
All these female teams now are going to be like, any trans players, we'd love to have you on the team. So we too can blitz the entire season.